Hello and welcome to day 20 out of 30 building an AI application in public. I'm using Lovable to go from an idea to a build to beta testing to launching and hopefully generating some cash by the end of this process. And I'm going to be doing this once a month, building something new either for myself or for the public and launching on a repeating basis. That is the plan at the moment. We're on day 20 out of 30 and some days have been very productive, some days have been less productive, but we are slowly pushing forward with our build. So this is what we're building at the moment. It turns content into lead magnets. A lead magnet is something that you give away to an audience member in exchange for their email address. So for example, a checklist, a mini guide, or a quiz that can be tacked onto the bottom of a piece of content on YouTube, on Instagram, for example, and given away in exchange for an email address, a follow, a like, a comment, whatever it is. And this is going to allow us to create both the lead magnet and the landing page, and all of that functionality is in place. What I'm working on at the moment is making it easier to create YouTube-based lead magnets. So if we go in, we have a couple of different ways that we can make lead magnets. We have YouTube, we have text. Text works fine. You can copy in your blog article or whatever the piece of content is. You can even grab a transcript like this from any video using a third-party transcriber and then chuck it in, and that will give you a lead magnet, which you can then attach to a landing page. But what I'd really like to do is to be able to generate lead magnets from any YouTube video. I have it so that you can generate lead magnets from your own channel, which works. So if I use one of my videos, this will work fully. It will create a lead magnet and it will generate a landing page for that lead magnet to live on. However, I want to expand this out, and to do this I need to use something called, well, this is one way to do it, something called Apify, and in particular I'm using a YouTube scraper that you're seeing right here. Basically for $0.005 I can scrape and I can pull in, this is using one of Matthew's videos, sorry Matthew, hopefully you don't mind, I'm sure you don't. I can pull in, here we go, the subtitles file. So you can see here, this is all of the text from this particular video, from this 10-minute long video. So the Apify allows me to grab that information from any video, and it costs me 0.005 cents per video, so it's still pretty cheap. Not ideal because it adds an extra cost, but well within the boundaries of what I can deal with for this actual business model. So where are we? We are trying to integrate the Apify API, basically the way we connect it, to my piece of software. So I've managed to get Apify so that it is generating, where is it? It is generating the subtitles. This was a bit fiddly because, where is it? I actually had to, you have to confirm, it does not download the transcript by default, so I had to make sure these are toggled on. But then I realized that all of these, it says right at the bottom here, hard to read, but it says note that the above settings only apply to actors run started from the Apify console, so this Apify webpage. So instead I need to do it from the API because my piece of software is sending the request to Apify. So I finally got that working so that it generates. However, at the moment it is not pulling the transcripts down correctly into my piece of software. So that's where we are right now. So what I'm going to do is, what I can probably do, I could export this last run as a JSON. Actually, shareable link, will this work? Let's see if this works. Ah no, all fields. Copy shareable link and let's have a look at that. There we go. Boom, and that is the transcript. So what I'm going to do is see if it can go and fetch that from there. If not, I'll download it and add it in. So here is the JSON output from the API in a URL for you to check the format. Let's see if it can do that, because I basically want to show my app what the output of Apify looks like so that it can work out how best to get that information, how best to ingest it into my database. Hello TikTok, good morning. Hello from Hollywood, Florida. Hello. I'm sure it's a bit warmer in Florida than it is here. ChatGPT 5 for legal advice. Ooh, be careful. Yes, you can use it for preliminary stuff, but if it's an important legal matter, use a lawyer. Like if it's something that's going to lose you hundreds of thousands of dollars or pounds, if it goes wrong, pay the lawyer, for now at least. I'll check the Apify dataset format. So perfect, I can see the issue. The Apify API returns a direct array with subtitles in plaintext field, but our code expects a default dataset ID object. Okay, so that worked apparently. It was able to go and look at that link. Here's what it looks like again. And it was able to, from that, see, okay, this is how the information is being sent. And from that, it can work out how best to ingest it. Off topic, but any thoughts on how AI can have an effect on the betting industry? I don't really know. On actually making bets, you'd have to look at predictive AI rather than generative AI. So modern AI that we talk about is generative. It is not predictive. So it actually makes it terrible for betting because it's going to make stuff up. I think last week somebody won the lottery. Somebody in America won the lottery using numbers suggested by ChatGPT. Totally coincidental. All that tells us is that there are enough people using ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT for the lottery numbers that eventually the correct numbers were going to be given. But it's entirely random. So if you were looking for the betting industry specifically, you'd have to look at predictive AI, which is a different form of AI. We've actually had it for a long time. It's the AIs that we're using, things like weather prediction, in travel prices, in oil and gas, etc. We use algorithms to work these things out. So there's definitely forms of artificial intelligence. It's just not related to ChatGPT and the GPT models because they are generative. Okay, so it says it's fixed. It's fixed everything. But the watchword of this stream is, I don't believe you. We go and test absolutely everything. So we're going to pop in Matthew's video again. I don't have to use Matthew's. I can use anyone's video. That's the idea, is I can use anyone's. Okay. Go to dashboard, go to YouTube, go to here. So I click on check. Oh, then, that's because I'm logged out. It shouldn't matter. Okay, we'll get back to that later. The authentication shouldn't matter because we should not need a Google account for this particular search because we are looking for a third-party video. So let's see what it does. So what we can see is if this triggers properly, we should see a new run appear here in the back end. Let's see if it even gets there. There we go. So the crawler has started. So this is now checking that video, which normally takes, well, we can see it takes, can't see the time, normally takes 20 seconds. There we go, it's done, 22 seconds. So it's grabbed that, and let's check in here to see if it got the subtitles. Yes, okay, it has. And then boom, something went wrong here. Unable to verify video ownership. That's fine because we don't need video ownership. So let's have a look at the console. API error. Okay, so this is what we want. And then we're going to come back to here. So I'm going to talk to it. Hey, Lovable. So this threw up an error. I checked in the Apify backend and the subtitles were generated. So the error seems to be pulling the subtitles or the transcript back into our application. The error that I see inside of our application is something went wrong, unable to verify video ownership, failed to save transcript to database. I don't know if that's the actual error. I've also given you the console code. We do not need this to be our video because this is a third-party video. Remember, we check the routing. If it is our video connected to our Google account, we use the OAuth. If it is not, which is true in this case, it is not our video, we use Apify and we pull in the Apify transcript. So can you help me diagnose what's going on there? Lawyers make mistakes also. Yes, they do. So there are lots of law-specific AIs being built. Basically, they use something called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Very basically, it's a huge database of, in this case, law cases and rules. And you give an AI access to that, and you tell it to focus on that information rather than the whole of the internet or the whole of its training database, and that allows it to be much more precise and much less error prone, less likely to come up with hallucinations. So there are law specific AIs that are being trained on this kind of work, but if we go and use ChatGPT for legal advice, for example, because it's not so focused on purely legal documentation and legal case histories and precedents, the chances of it making mistakes, making hallucinations is much higher. New row violates row-level security policy for table video transcripts. The problem is that get transcript with Apify is using a non-key which doesn't have the proper context. Well, yes, fixed. The issue was that the edge function that's in Supabase or connected to Supabase was using the non key to connect to Supabase, which meant it couldn't bypass RLS, a row level security, when inserting the transcripts. I've updated to use the surface role key. It should be resolved. So we don't necessarily believe it, and we're going to have a look and see if it's actually working. Kill these off. Are you concerned about ChatGPT's ties to Israel and the assassination of the whistleblower? I don't think it was an assassination based on what I've seen. I think he was troubled. DeepSeek is what I use. Fair. DeepSeek is a really good model. Check out Qwen as well. So Qwen just released their new model yesterday. So Qwen is the new model from China. Qwen 3 Max is what they just released, and it's supposedly very good, because DeepSeek is quite old now. I say old, it's, what is it, 6 months? No, less than that. So DeepSeek is further down the arena charts just because it's a bit older. There it is. DeepSeek 3.1 is 9th, whereas Qwen 3 Max is sitting at 3rd place. So it's below the ChatGPT and the Opus models, but Qwen is very, very good, and they released their new models 2 days ago. So check out Qwen 3. There's also an app as well. So QWEN is made by Alibaba, the Chinese company, and it's a very cool model. Okay, so that ran the request. We're just going to quickly check. No, it didn't, because I haven't done a request yet. What am I talking about? Here we go. So open this up, go to the dashboard, go into here, grab Matthew's video again. Sorry, Matthew. I love your stuff though. This is not a privilege. I'm totally blanking out on the word. This is a tribute that I want to grab stuff from your content. Okay, so let's see, it's doing the run in the background. That takes about 20 seconds. We will have an issue with, it's a good issue to have, but we'll have an issue to have with Apify if suddenly hundreds of people are using it. I'll need to have the ability to run more agents at the same time. So it won't be, let's say 100 people are using it. We don't want to process those requests one at a time, because then one person is suddenly waiting for minutes and minutes on end, and that's not going to work. But you can have multiple agents running at the same time. This is only a problem if it's successful. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. So it's the kind of thing that we can worry about later. It's taking a while. So this is already an issue, honestly. It's that sometimes it's a bit slow, which means that my app looks like it's slow. Whereas, I mean, my app is slow because it's using Apify in the background, and Apify, for whatever reason, This one's taken forever. This is now a minute and a half. Yeah, see, that's not going to work. So I still want to get this working, but what I'll probably have is a whole range of different options. So we have fallbacks. So if one option doesn't work, it uses this. If another option doesn't work, it uses another. So it gives us redundancy. You've not read the autopsy then? No, I haven't read the autopsy. Okay, something went wrong. So let's have a look. So that is exactly the same error as we had last time. So I'm going to say can we step back from this error a little bit? I want to make sure that you are pulling the JSON from Apify at all. Let's set up like a debug screen or a special page where when I run on a third-party YouTube video that does not belong to the account owner, I want you just to display the JSON so that we can confirm that that JSON is arriving at all in the application, and then we'll worry about how we put it into the super base. Thank you. So we know that it is generating this JSON here. It looks like this. What I'm trying to do is confirm that it's arriving in my application so that it can then be sorted out into the database. So I want the raw JSON response without the database operations. That's what it's doing for me. So I basically want to run a test, see this appear, this mess of text appear in my application, and then once I know that's working, we can then pull out the text that we need and add it in the place we want it. Come on. Okay, so it's making a new function, Apify debug test. Oh. Okay, so it's made a new page called Apify debug that displays the raw JSON response. So let's have a look at that. What's it called? So it's made a test page basically. So we won't use this page, but it allows me to add in a YouTube URL, check the functions are working, check that it manages to do the task it's meant to, and then from there we can work out what's going on. The reason I did this rather than just telling it, no, fix it, fix it, fix it, is that we get into a loop basically. So I'm going to take a step back, take a breather, go to here. So it's going to make a direct call. And then we're going to see what happens. Let me check in Apify if that's running. Yes, it is. It's taking a while. So with Apify, I can also While I'm here, I'll show you. So in the Apify store, we can get things like Instagram. It's Instagram scraper. What we want is a transcript. So effortlessly convert, any public Instagram reel videos into accurate text. So this is what we need. And uses OpenAI Whisper API to either transcribe it into its original language or translate it into English. So we can also use Apify for these kind of tools as well. So we can do a lot of stuff in the back end. We could build it ourselves, and that probably will be something that we do later. So here's one for TikTok as well. Oh, this one does TikTok and Instagram Reels, so that'd be really useful. It's only got 600 users, which is not exciting. But for example, we'll have a look at that, and that will allow us to add the additional functionality. There we go. That will allow us to add the additional functionality of being able to grab transcripts from Instagram and grab transcripts from TikTok, because neither of them have an open API that just allows me to get the captions. We need to be a bit clever with those, and that allows us to have more inputs and make it more valuable for customers. So there we go, it's pulled it, and this plain text here, this long string, that is our transcript. So that does work. The question is, why can't it see that as the transcript? So how do I relay this back? That's annoying. Okay, Lovable, that worked. So the page you built me, Apify-debug, allows me to test a URL, and it correctly displays the JSON of the raw Apify response, which means we're receiving the information. We just need to make sure that the plain text subtitles are treated as a transcript in the same way that we did with all of our other lead magnet generations. So we've already done this with text, we've already done this with YouTube via OAuth, so we're just doing the same thing again, but using this JSON that comes from Apify. So have a look at what you've done with the Apify debug, because that is correct. We just need that functionality, bringing the transcript in and saving it as a transcript in our main flow. Toystra, lol, you have no idea what you're doing. Aww. Okay, buddy. The thing is, though, I can just block people. Like, I don't know what you're expecting. It's like you come to my live streams, like, oh, off you go then, bye. So I am not a coder, I'm not a software engineer, and this is why I'm doing this stream. I am primarily, I own businesses, I run businesses, I launch businesses. What's really cool about vibe coding is that it allows you to build pieces of software, and it allows you to get proof of concept and minimum viability products up and running in a very short amount of time. So we're on, what are we now? It's about the 20th hour, which for a piece of software is not very long. Not very long. So previously I've built software and I had to hire people, and they cost, well, it depends on the size of the project, but you're talking about tens of thousands or into hundreds of thousands if you are moving into the higher levels. Now we can, and you would do that and there would not necessarily be any return, because you might still spend hundreds of thousands and then you haven't found the market for it, or it doesn't work how you need it to, or a competitor comes along and eats your lunch. Whatever it is, you don't have any guarantee. Whereas with vibe coding, you can very quickly build up a proof of concept, get it out to market, see if people actually care, and then if they do, you can piece it together, you can rebuild it. So that's why I'm using things like Apify in the background as a hack, in the same way that is it Just Eats, I think, or Grubhub, or one of those. They started by not actually building any software in the background. They started by, you'd go to their website, you'd order food, then one of their staff members would ring up the restaurant, place the order, give the address of the person who gave their details to Grubhub. I is it Grubhub? I think it's Grubhub. And then the restaurant would deliver directly. So they basically created a front to show that there was demand for what they were doing, and then they built out the actual engineering in the back end from there. We can do this very quickly and very cheaply using vibe coding nowadays, which for entrepreneurs, people who actually want to build product, not people who are coders, but people who want to build product and sell stuff, it's just a very exciting time. That's why I'm doing this stream, to show people that even if you don't know how to code, you can put something together. But software developers hate this stuff. I feel like one of those clickbait headlines, you know, software developers hate this one easy trick. I just covered on my news show a new paper from Google, the DORA 2025 study in it. It was a survey of 5,000 software developers and technical professionals, and it shows that 73% of them are using AI in their daily work. Like basically this is to generate code. So it's coming to eat their lunch, and the software engineers are using it as well. There's always a debate back and forth about how much they're using it, but this new Google research shows 73%. So it's like, it's getting good enough. All right, so what did you actually do? Fix the database constraint source type from Apify to YouTube. Let's give that a go. People with those comments don't understand anything. No, I think people who comment like that are, some of them are scared, and like, I get it. If you have dedicated a lot of your life to, you know, learning how to code, learning how to program, and then you see somebody who doesn't know what they're doing piecing something together and potentially selling something and releasing a product and making money, that would make you furious, and rightfully so. Because the thing is, the building is not enough. It's the building and the marketing. It's the building and the selling. Building used to be a barrier. It's not really the barrier anymore to getting something up and running. So I can understand, I can sympathize with them, why they get upset. It's just, I have the luxury of not having to deal with it. I can just be like, okay, bye. Off you go. Go and bother someone else. So yeah, I get it. I just don't, I have no obligation to deal with it. So hey, what the hey. Right, let's give this a shot. Not expecting it to work, but that's fine. Ooh. There's my run. The fact that Apify has taken 20 to 30 seconds to scrape is also a problem. To be honest, the amount of things I've built but zero marketing, yeah, we need both, basically. Being able to build, really, really valuable. Being able to sell and to market, really, really powerful. Did that just work? Yep. Oh, we did it. Hey! Generated from AGI will freeze the economy. 2,300 words. That sounds about right. Preparing for the rise of AGI. So AGI will freeze the economy was the name of Matt Berman's video. So it's created 3 checklists. One is preparing for the rise of AGI, essential steps. So how can you get ready for it? We should send it to the guy I just blocked. Are you ready for the AGI-driven economy? A quiz or an assessment, and navigating the future, strategies for thriving in an AGI economy. So I'm going to go ahead and check that this works. Generating the lead magnet. And that will create, hopefully, a lead magnet. It should all work from this point because it's just a different way of inputting the information. And what we need to do is, if it is my YouTube video from my YouTube channel, we'll use that Google authorization. If it is not, we'll use the Apify, and we have like a fallback system basically. There we go. So that has now created a lead magnet. Fine. Let's go back to the dashboard. see how that displays. So AGI will freeze the economy. That's interesting. It did not pull in the thumbnail. So when it got it from my video, you can see it's pulled in a thumbnail. Here it has not. Let's look at the transcript. So that is the transcript from Matt's video. Yep, all good. So that works. We've got that working. Watch video will take us back to that video. And then we can view the lead magnet. Yes, and we can generate off the back of it a landing page. So, oh, that's interesting. I'll generate with AI. So press this. It should be able to pull from that transcript and fill in the landing page details. So pull in from the thing, from the checklist. So grab your checklist before it's gone, then I'll create landing page. Okay, that's made, and boom, there we go. So now I put in, let's say I've watched this video, Matthew Berman's video, and at the bottom, because he's been writing about AGI will freeze the economy, and he's talking about what you should do, etc. At the bottom of this, in his descriptions, so right now he's got download Humanity's Last Prompt Engineering Guide, free, download the Matthew Berman vibe coding playbook, free, etc. These are fine, and if I click on this, it would take me to a landing page, presumably. There we go, landing page, and there should be a way to give my email. That is fine, but if instead he had a lead magnet which is specific to the video, so he's talked about AGI will freeze the economy, so you've watched through the video and you're like, shit, what am I going to do about AGI? And at the bottom here he's had a checklist which is like, hey, here are the things you need to do to get ready for AGI. And then it went to this page, or something that he's designed in his style, because we can do that. I would give my email address, so kyletest1@gmail.com, and that's going to give me a specific lead magnet specific to that video itself. Cool. So we are rocking and rolling, and you can see in my dashboard that captures the leads. It's got total views 2, total leads 1, conversion rate 50%. This is squished up because I haven't done the responsive design for mid size, but we've got the functionality in play. Cool. So we can now generate lead magnets from any YouTube video. Let's do another one for fun. Let's do this one. Let's see if this works. So we're going to try a Fireship one. Let's see if it triggers in Apify. Okay, that is triggered in Apify. So that should now create a lead magnet based on this Apify video, which again, not Apify, Firebase, which the Firebase guy could place underneath his YouTube video in order to generate leads off the back of his video. So we are rocking and rolling. So lead magnet ideas are ready. There's a new Lino distribution in town for developers. So here's an essential setup checklist for Amari Linux. Boom. Sounds good. And this would be based on the information that was given in the Firebase video, because it's based off the transcript. So we're rocking and rolling. I'm kind of tempted to add Instagram and TikTok now. If I have TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and text, that is my full stack, basically, of all the inputs you could want. There we go. So first, download the Amari Linux distro, get a reliable USB, backup important data, Flash. Let's use Balena Etcher. Correct. I think I've got it on this computer somewhere. Get familiar with Hyperland. So this is a whole checklist which is based on that video that I've just copied in. So let's have a look. So again, this is the video. It's from Fireship, great channel, by the way, you should check it out. So instead of the call to action being download CodeRabbit command line interface, that is generic. Instead, at the bottom here, there could be a, hey, do you want a checklist related to the Amari, to the video that you've just watched? And if so, here is the checklist. If you want that checklist, give me your email address. So for every single one of Fireship's videos, for example, he could put together a checklist, he could put together a guide which is built off of it, he could put together a quiz, whatever. We can create lots of different lead magnets, and there'll be one for each and every single one of these videos, which should allow him to capture a lot more emails. So we are rocking and rolling. A couple of things. I would like that to actually show the thumbnail. It's not huge, but it would be nice. Let's have a look. So we've got the URL, channel URL. Do we have the thumbnail in this scraper is the question. Yes, we do. There we go. So, hey Lovable, that is working. Thank you so much. Please get rid of the Apify -debug page. We no longer need it. Also, I'd like to be able to pull in the thumbnail, and the thumbnail is being pulled by Apify, and I want that to be in the dashboard in the same way that we pull the thumbnail from the OAuth based Google API as well. So could you grab that thumbnail and add it to the dashboard alongside the videos that we generate? Thank you. So this is just a design thing, because otherwise I end up with a lot of very blank looking thumbnails here. It makes it just harder to know which video it is. Whereas when we're doing it on my own videos, you can see the thumbnails here. It just allows me to very quickly identify which are mine. Conan, I love watching your lives while I'm working on my AI stuff. Awesome. That's what I want people to be doing, is building. What are you building, Conan? Don't you get distracted though if I'm talking about one thing and you're trying to type in something else? It's too close. Tell me what you're building though, I'd love to know. Okay. Oh, what happened there? Oh yeah, we want that gone. Oh, also, while I'm here, there he is. I want to shout out my friend Marcin's. He's got a new school, and I think it's free to join initially. And you can use, yeah, Sabrina's got a special offer. Sabrina Ramanov, who you probably know if you are on TikTok. Oh, there's a 40% off with Sabrina. I don't know how you get it. Oh, this is a $57 a month, so it's not free. But Marcin has put together a vibe coding community, basically, and he's a really great guy. He's coming over to London next week, so I'm finally going to meet him in person. And we're going for lunch, which I'm very excited about. But they have a community. They're I think number 2 on number 2 or 3 on school right now, so they're doing extremely well. I am in this group. I'm going to be active in this group, and if you are interested in chatting to a bunch of people who are actually building stuff on a daily basis, I highly recommend checking it out. So it's school.com/AI builders if you do want to know about it. And right now it's discounted due to Sabrina. Now, and if you know Sabrina, Sabrina never promotes or sponsors anything. She doesn't need to. She sold her own AI startup, and she's doing fine financially. So for Sabrina to come in and say, hey, you should check this out, it kind of says a lot. He's not sponsoring me to say any of this, by the way. This is just, I want to support Marcin and the stuff he does. And I'm in the group, and it's a cool place. Good people, you know. So do check that out. Right, so remove the debug page. Awesome. Added thumbnail support from Apify. Let's do a quick update and see if that is true. Actually work with Stage 0, Timbaland's record label. Oh, that's cool. Working on artists, content, etc. Be good to chat to you sometimes, actually have some stuff we need. Yeah, no, absolutely. Shoot me a message. So is it AI working on artists, as in AI music, or something different? Because there's some very interesting stuff going on with that right now. Although I heard Spotify are now cracking down on it. They're pushing back on AI generated content. Okay, we're gonna know that's the wrong thing to do. If we do that again, it's gonna confuse it. So let's do another one. Let's do this one. Ed Lawrence. So let's drop in Ed Lawrence. Boop. You can see the channels that I like now. So again, this is tribute that I'm pulling your transcripts and making lead magnets. It's because I like your stuff. Hybrid music. Real musicians using AI tools to enhance workflows. Very cool. And a K-pop AI artist is doing a tour. Not sure how that works. Is that hologram based? Because I know here in London there's ABBA Imagine or ABBA Legend. I don't know what it's called, but it's a hologram based show, which people seem to love. The performers are holograms, and that is apparently fine. So, hey. So here we go. YouTube update could wreck your business. 900 words. YouTube split testing success checklist. Awesome. I'm going to actually create this one. And this one didn't work the other day, so I'm not sure if this one's going to work. So let's try it. I need to go back and tweak all of these checklists as well. Checklists? Lead magnets, excuse me. Is it going to work? Yes, there we go. So mastering, so it has the video embedded at the top, which looks nice, and then introduction, understand how split testing works, pitfalls, combined testing, some action points. Choose to test. We've started doing this, by the way. You can now split test headlines, not headlines, titles in YouTube, which is really cool. Okay, so that works. It can be exported as a PDF, but more importantly, what we are testing is, yes, there we go. It has pulled in that thumbnail image. So we can now see this thumbnail image and the title, so we know what the lead magnet is for. It has not put the lead magnet there. I'll come back to that and fix it. I knew that the PDF was a bit weird, but that is fine. Okay. Okay. It's actually working. I love it when it actually works. I've got 20 minutes. Do we want to add an Instagram scraper? That's stupid, isn't it? What have we got? So this one actually scrapes from multiple platforms. It's $20 a month to use. It's a free trial. It's only got 3.7 stars, which I don't love. The other thing I can do is I could... No, we still need to scrape. We need to scrape. We need to scrape and transcribe. So this is $2.70 for 1,000 results. Idiot. I can do maths. So 0.0027. Okay, so like a third of a cent per result. That's not too bad. So this is Instagram hashtags, photo comments. No, that doesn't get the transcript. So we need the transcript. API hashtags. No. Okay, what we need is transcript or text. So we had one that had Instagram and TikTok. If we can kill two birds with one stone, that'd be really useful. Here we go. So extract accurate transcripts from Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and TikTok videos. Use video URLs to transcribe public content with timestamps. Let's try it. Let's see how good it is. Am I logged in on Yes. Let's grab one of Yoni's videos. Love you, Yoni. This is a tribute. Copy link. Take it back over to here. Drop that in there. And see what this does. So it lets me kind of play around for free. And then if I want to use it, I can add it as an actor into my Apify, and then I can connect it up to the API. And if I can get this working, then I'll be able to transcribe YouTube videos from text, so blog articles, for example, from Instagram videos and from TikTok, which gives me, that's pretty damn good coverage. There's always going to be weird things, like somebody will come to me like, can you do Vimeo? But we'll cover the main basis. I think that's all we can do. How are you paying for that API? So this API is in Apify, and basically there's a store, and in the store people will launch their own little agents, and you pay per usage or a monthly fee. So it's up to the person who builds it, the developer, to choose how they charge. I tend to use the ones that are built by Apify because they're like officially supported. Apify is the platform itself, and they tend to be like 1 cent, 2 cent a run, maybe even less, half a cent. So this one cost me 13 cents. So that's quite expensive to get the transcript. That might not work for me. It did get the transcript though. So there we go. That is a full transcript. So did that have to listen to it? I think that's actually listened in real time to the video, which is also a problem, because if that video is 5 minutes long, we're going to be transcribing it for 5 minutes. I don't know if that's what it's done, because that's not going to work, is it? So there's the transcript. So it does work, but that took a while. And it cost me 13 cents to do, which is fine for a one-off, but if I'm running 1,000 of these, suddenly I need to add that into my cost of running and how much I'm charging as well. So that one's not that exciting. Let's look through all the other Instagram ones. I've got hashtags. Can I do categories? Here we go. No, it's not handy. Instagram scraper. Blazing fast speed. We like that. What's it do though? What does it get? Hashtags. I don't need hashtags. I might need to spend some time offline looking through these. So each of these is made by a different developer. You can make your own. You can sell them on here as well if you want. I like these ones, which are made by Apify, maintained by Apify. So actually, let's see if they have what they have. Instagram scraper, content, comment scraper. What transcript or subtitles or transcript? So often social media posts have built-in subtitles, and if I can just grab that, the auto-generated subtitles, then I don't need to transcribe myself using Whisper, which saves money. Can't spell. Subtitles. TikTok subtitles. It's at 200 users. It's not very exciting. Instagram into accurate text. Let's go up here and do it by most popular. Google, YouTube, profile. No, this is not helpful. What's this? TikTok scraper. Hashtag. Here's the JSON it's going to have. No, alright, I think this is probably not very exciting to watch, me shopping for transcriptions. Let's have a look. We've got 10 minutes, so it's not going to be enough for me to add it either. But in terms of payment, it tends to be cents for every single scrape, but we still need to work out how that aligns with our with our GPT usage as well, and various other bits. Let me talk to Claude. Add IG and TikTok extraction. Ideally, the subtitles otherwise transcribing. What are my options? I can use Apify or APIs. I don't want to be in a position where I'm building out a whole transcription service. It's doable. I mean, we'd connect to Whisper, but if I can get something that does it for very cheap, then I will just use that. Okay, caption text is not helpful. Rapid API, Instagram APIs, not video subtitles. Right, so if there is auto-generated captions, I can grab the auto-generated captions, but not all of them are going to have auto-generated captions. So then we need to fall back on transcription. So we kind of need a routing. So we first check to see if there are captions. If there are captions, awesome, grab the captions. If there are no captions, okay, get the audio and transcribe it, which just takes a bit longer. But we'd use something like OpenAI Whisper API, which is 0.006 per minute. But yeah, we need to download the video first. So suddenly we are potentially having to download lots and lots of videos. So where do they live? What do we do with them afterwards, etc., etc. It just complicates things. So TikTok is easier. So use the Apify TikTok scraper, check if captions exist, fall back to transcription if needed. Yes. Phase 2, Instagram harder, download video. So let's, okay. So TikTok scraper is the big one, this one. Yeah, but does this have well, let's try it. Grab one of my videos. Grab this. Videos with this hashtag. No, that's not what we want. Video URLs. So add, there we go. Download, so what's it? So I don't want this hashtag thing. Number of videos per hashtag, search. Okay, this does allow somebody to bulk generate lead magnets from their channel, which could be amazing, but that's something else. So that's potentially a business plan. Let's say I've onboarded a new customer and they have 100 videos and they want to generate lead magnets for all those past videos. Yes, they can sit with the tool and add them one by one, but it's going to take them a while. So later we could have the ability for them to do it in bulk, and we'd basically have a queue system. So they would enter the list of URLs. They might not even need to do that. We could just give it the profile and it will go through. Right, that has done a run. So let's see what it actually gets. Outputs. Text. So the text here is just my description. Share, blah, 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 blah. Original sound. I'm not seeing any transcript. Oh, sorry, all fields. So detailed mentions, effect stickers, is sponsored, location, media mention, submitted text. No, I don't see a transcriber there. That's fine. So we're not using that one. Full API, lowest cost access for So the reason why people do this is you can kind of do competitive research. You can download all the videos around, let's say, the ChatGPT, a topic, and you can find out, you can then scan them all for which ones have the most views, the most shares, etc. And you can use that to work out content strategy. So that's what people are normally using these things for, but we are being a little different. Maybe I need to try this one. I know it's $20 a month, but Let's see if this works, because if this one just works, I'll roll with it. Because $20 a month is fine. It's just, right, I'm going to steal your video, brand Nat, or Nat. This one. This is one about the free laptop she got. I was immediately in her WhatsApp like, hey, send me the laptop. I need a PC. Let's also check YouTube, because if this one scraper can do everything, it does reduce my kind of points of failure. So it reduces the complexity, but it does mean I have 1 point of failure. So video URL, go to that. Language, best efforts, what's that mean? We'll get the metadata. Okay, residential proxy. Yes. So YouTube videos in particular, if they get hit with too many requests from one IP address, about 250 requests, it will shut down and it won't allow any more uses from there. So we use residential proxies, like we rotate the IP address to okay, I'm going to rent this for 3 days, so I'm not paying the $20 yet, I'm just testing it out. So do I not have a paid account at the moment? I guess I haven't used it recently. So it's going to, if this can scrape YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and it's decent, I might just go ahead and use this. So what we've got description, that's fine. We've got our URL. Oh. Okay. Time to spend some money, I guess. That took 6 seconds and it got the transcripts from the YouTube and my TikTok perfectly in 6 seconds. Yep. It did not get the Instagram. Why didn't it get... Let me do that again. All right. Scratch everything else. This is what we're using. So this will cost me more money, but hell, if it works, it works. Why didn't that Instagram not work though? Not the end of the world, but let's try a different one. Okay, get one from Maddie. I know all these people, it's fine to take their stuff, it's fine. Thanks, Maddie. Get rid of that source. Let me try this, just take off that trailing. Let's try that again. Because if it can do TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, that's kind of me done. That's fantastic. It doesn't actually say Instagram here. Maybe that's why. Oh, can it not do Instagram? YouTube, etc. Oh, it doesn't do Instagram. That's why. Okay, so I can use this for TikTok and YouTube. Right, sorry, this isn't very exciting for the live stream. It's very exciting for me because it's going to make my life a lot easier. I'm just going to pay for this. So I will do this for YouTube because this is much faster than the other one that I was using, and I'll use it for TikTok. I will pay them $20 a month and whatever the additional prices are, but that's fine. I can deal with that. And then I still need to find something for Instagram specifically, but that is not a problem. Awesome. We did a lot. So we now can pull any YouTube video. I'm probably going to change this API to the other one, this in-video IQ one, just because it's faster, because I don't want people to have to wait for 20 seconds to create their transcript, and this one did it in 6 seconds, so it's faster. Even if I have to pay more, not going to be a problem. So we now no longer need somebody to sign in using a Google account because we can pull transcripts regardless, and we can generate text-based from text any blog article. and we can do YouTube, and we should soon be able to do TikTok as well, and then Instagram I'll add later. So okay, we're really getting there. We're cooking with gas. I didn't expect that to work so well, but I'm excited it did. But I'm going to finish up. We're at 1 hour. And this is my promise to myself and to you guys as well, that I'm only going to work on this for 1 hour per day, just to show you that you don't need 8 to 10 hours every single day grinding away at this. Instead, we can do it an hour. We can move forward a little bit. We don't always move forward, but we've moved forward a little bit, and over time we can put together I hope a very exciting piece of software that's going to be very useful to a lot of people, and then sell it. That's going to be the idea. Awesome. Thank you, TikTok, as well. Ooh, somebody has told me another Apify. Let me have a look. It's called Anox Vanzi. This one? Yes. Didn't we just try this one? This is real. Did we try this one? Yeah, we tried this one. It was good. And we did it with Instagram. This is one we tried with Instagram. It cost 13 cents just to do one video. So I'm going to look for a cheaper one. It should only cost us 0.1 or something like that. So that's fine, but it's a little more expensive. So we will have a look around. But thank you. That's basically, I need to try them all and see which ones are fast, which ones are cheap, which ones are accurate, and then decide based on that. Thank you, DSL89. Okay, just going through, make sure there's no questions. Anyone abusing me? No. Cool. I'm going to finish up the stream and have a lovely weekend, everybody.